My PayPal account has been locked out. Oh no, I should be so worried. This is a phishing attempt. If you get any phishing attempts from your email, text, any social media account, always act suspicious. Go to a known bookmark. Do never ever click on the link in the email. In this video we're going to analyze email, the links that they have, obviously. So first, what makes us suspicious? Again, never ever click on the link, ever. Always go to a known bookmark to log into your account to check it out. This is obviously a phishing attempt, but I'm zeroing in on when I hover over the link. That does not look like PayPal to me. That is very suspicious and does not look like PayPal. What they do is they will set up a fake looking PayPal, Amazon, banking, whatever. So you'll log in to the, well, don't ever click on the link. But when you do, you'll log in with your credentials, and it's a fake site. They grab your credentials and then use those credentials as legitimate credentials to log into PayPal, to log into Amazon, to log into your banking account. This is a phishing attempt. Never ever click on a link if it says account locked out, transaction suspicious activity. Always go to a known bookmark. We're going to go ahead and save this as a text file. That's another tip. Transfer your email client to only display text, and then that should filter out some of this, but this is an HTML embedded email. So we're going to save this as, and the dialog box is going to come up here, and we're not going to save it as rich text, we're going to save it as, let's say this is raw message source. So now we're going to view this message in raw text editor. You want a raw text editor. And so basically we're looking at the first top here is the message header. We don't email, so the mail relay is a Gmail mail relay. PayPal does not use Gmail. Amazon does not use Gmail. They have their own valid return address. We're going to look down to the ref tag, the email ref tag for this example here. And I am scrolling. This is all HTML text or HTML code, and we want the that link that I showed earlier. See, there's image background here. Okay, it's sort of hard to see, and I apologize for that, but this is the email ref tag for that button. So this does not look like a valid, so it's actually a simple URL, or it's a tiny URL. This is an alias right here that points to this here. That is the domain name, and then they put a user ID in here because they went ahead and set up a fake website, as we know. But they went ahead and set this up with this fake user ID. User ID equals here. But let's just do a little bit of analysis on this website here. Look up, and then I'm going to go to our favorite NS lookup here. Okay, we did an NS lookup on that domain name, and I don't recognize that. That is obviously not PayPal. That is obviously not Amazon. So this example, we're doing a PayPal examination analysis of that email, and that to me is not PayPal. So let's dive a little further. Oh boy, did we get some interesting takes. So we did a who is with the domain name, and so we got all these interesting takes. And then I went ahead and did open those up, abuse IPDB, and then I also did an ICANNA lookup as well. So the ICANNA lookup, we're going to look up the IP, and so let's go ahead and first scroll down here a little bit, and this is really interesting. Wow, city. Let's move the camera. Wow, I don't know my geography, but that doesn't look like a US city. It doesn't look like a PayPal or an Amazon city. So this is being hosted out of this data center. The Never Cloud Corp data center hosting. The city is China. Sorry, China, but I'm always suspicious of you. And here's all the other domain sites. Here's our record that we're concerned about here. And let's see if there's any other data. Ooh, Korea, actually. Korea. Right there, that's Korea. So we've got an IP address, and we're just doing a little reconnaissance. Actually, here we go. That looks like country code Korea, right there, folks. So this is a valid. I'm gonna search in a little bit there. I don't recognize. So this IP address that we just dug up from our phishing attempt points to a Korean country site. I do not know my Korean geography, so I'm going to look this up, and I'm going to assume that this is North Korea. Could be South Korea. I mean, it could be. It's Korea any which way, but. And this is an ICANN lookup as well. So we have a mailing address. So. Oh, Seoul, South Korea. So there we go. Seoul, South Korea. So unfortunately, I'm always suspicious of Asian sites. Korea, North Korea, China, Russia, Vietnam. But so right there, we've pinpointed it to a South Korean website, data center that's hosting a malicious web server. Now let's go to the WHOIS, the recently reported IPs. Let's see if it's got any other data that points to malicious attempt. I'm confident that this is a Korean website, but I want to see what the other ratings are for this website. So this is Abuse IPDB. There's a lot of sites out there, but just be very suspicious when you put in an IP address and say, who is this? Because it could be the bad site saying, oh, we're good, being suspicious. But this is what we found on this website. We're diving in. It's Korea. So here are the abusive reports from this data center, from this site. So this is obviously a phishing site to lure you in. Okay, the first is IRS. So they're targeting IRS things. IRS never would send you through your email. And then this, I don't recognize it. Oh, and here's Amazon account fraud phishing. And then a COVID fraud phishing. Oh, PayPal fraud phishing from PayPal. From PayPal services. Exploited host IS cards. This is from Canada. This is from France. So we definitely know with full confidence that this is a bad site. But let's dive a little further. So this is abusive IPDB. There's other sites out there, but I would strongly suggest to go to a reputable site. So this is a pretty good one. Honeypot site is decent, but we want to search for your IP, look up IP. So it's Honeypot Project. Put our famous IP in here. We don't have any data on this currently IP, but it's South Korea, as we see here. And then IP, it appeared 356 times for spam. Bad host appearance, 7 months or a week. So approximately 7 years old. So they've been using this site for 7 years. So yeah, this is Honeypot, again, Honeypot lookup address project. And they do not have any data on this current IP, but as you can see here, first bad IP appearance was 7 years ago. So they've been using this site for 7 years for phishing attempts. Obviously it's been working for them. By level, low sensitivity. This is, oh, here we go. Here is a lookup. So this is SANS. SANS is probably one of the best sites. Is associated with Me Too. Oh no, and me too. And Alexa ranked has Alexa rank of hosts that are associated with this domains are low and are very popular and tend to prevent false data. Okay, so it's not much more data than we already found. Telnet logs, honeypot logs, external threats, Alexa data. It's again a Korean website. That's about as far as we can dig into it. Asia Pacific Network. It's under the AP NIC. This is their registration system. So it's obviously Asian, which we found out already, so that didn't really prove us any much more than we knew. But this is another good site. But definitely it mapped to those domains that are, let's check ThreatStop. I went ahead and put the IP address in Alien Vault. We already knew it's Korea. We already know it's Korea. So, 2 web servers. This is not much more information, but this is actually interesting. I don't know if we can scroll on here. Okay, it's running port 80, which is pretty common. 443, which is SSL encryption. We already know that. These I do not recognize. These are back channel ports. Back channel ports. So I don't recognize those. I'd have to look up, but I don't initially recognize those. Those aren't SMTP ports. Those aren't normal ports. So these are back channel ports that they're going to, when they attack your system, they're using those back channel ports. It's also funny they use Digicert to trust their website. AV indicator. Ooh. So here's, we're going to dive down a little bit here. And this is just more analysis. We already proved it's bad. We can go move on with life. But I'm just diving into a little bit deeper to see what they find. Oh, here's the associated URLs. Oh no. So let's go back to our message here. And let's scroll down to that href. Sorry for the scrolling. Ooh, there we go. Okay, there is the malicious IP. We're going to compare it over here. The domain is correct, but that looks like a 5A, and I don't see a 5A on the, I'm going to go on the left here, sorry about that. So I don't see it listed in the Alien Vault on the left here. So, good or bad, but we're going to put that aside, and then we're going to keep looking here. Ooh, associated files. Hashtag files, IP scans. I'm searching here. They're using the me2.do domain. There's almost 50,000 entries for URLs that they put in their phishing attempts. These are all bad URLs. What I mean is bad URLs, so when you click on them it goes to a fake website. So yeah, this is good data. So our particular URL, I don't see it here because these are fresh ones. So our particular URL, I could probably search for it and download it, but then download this to search offline, but I don't see it quickly here. So they've been using this URL for quite some time. Obviously it seems to be working for them, but 50,000 URLs assigned to that domain name. So these are 50,000 login attempts, or not login attempts, website attempts to get you in fake, these are fake websites. So we used URL void to check the website. Again, this is information we already know about, but this is the blacklist report. So these are the sites that detected possible issues. So the first top four hits here detected issues, and then we scroll down and nothing else found. But the fact that the first 4 got a hit, so we opened up my WOD, and this is just like a blog, and so we kind of scroll down here, and like just as we suspected here. This is a Korean redirection service. The websites have been linked to redirection services. So that's again evidence. It's not an official evidence, but that's suspicious. And then this one classifies it as phishing attempts here. So I'm pretty confident. This is just a user blog, but I'm pretty confident that what we found was a phishing attempt, and that's about as far as we're going to go for this investigation. Obviously, never click on a link from Amazon or PayPal or your banking or whatever. Even be a little suspicious if your friends and family send you a link without giving you a little context. If they say, "Oh, funny video," or "check this game link out," maybe text them and say, did you really intend to send this to me? You know, just kind of be suspicious of any links in general, but of course the PayPals, the Amazons, the banking, they want to draw you in so that they can get your credentials and log into your account. So it's about as far as we're going to go for this investigation. Just if you get a Amazon or PayPal account locked out, just delete it, have it go to your junk mail, and then go in to the known bookmark and then log in through a known bookmark or through a known site. Never ever click on the link in your email. We could block this at our firewall and go in more detail, but to manage those firewall listings is very tedious. Depending on your firewall, you can set up for it to download automatic blacklists, depending on your firewall, depending on the service. I personally do have that on one of my firewalls that automatically downloads blacklisted files and then it automatically blocks those. But it all depends on your firewall.